Warm greetings to everyone listening or watching. Welcome to my first video in the You Are Magic series. So, why are we here? Why are we watching or listening? What are we interested in? I believe we're here because we share an interest in spiritual experiences, magical practices, mystical teachings, paranormal events, and all kinds of mysterious phenomena. Some of us might have a lot of experience with these things, and others might just be starting to recognize the presence of something mystical in their lives. Wherever we are on our personal journeys, I think that those who are reading or listening to these words are on a special timeline where they will be able to unlock their full potential and help themselves and others in some miraculous ways. So, why are we here? We want to work magic, bottom line. We want to bring our spiritual talents to life and learn how to harness our gifts. We want to take an active role in creating our reality. And once we have our own lives under control, we want to use our powers to help our friends, families, and communities find more happiness and joy. So, where do we begin? Well, we'll be introducing a series of videos and podcasts to help anyone interested in improving their understanding of seemingly inexplicable events, and we'll be offering unique ways to get in touch with the natural true magic within each of us. We want to encourage each other to reach for our highest capabilities when it comes to using our magical and spiritual powers. Some of the videos and podcasts will be short and instructive, and others will be longer and more explanatory. We'll share links of others already producing excellent advice in these areas, and we'll incorporate many of your suggestions as we move along together. So, are you ready to walk this magical path? This is not a journey for the faint of heart. It requires dedication and perseverance, but in the end, it offers reward beyond measure. Some people ready to explore magic and spirit in more detail will enjoy our unique take on self-development, but others might not feel so comfortable. To help you decide if you would like to pursue this path or to spend more time with us, let's take a look at some of the pros and cons. Are you a good fit for this undertaking? Well, first, if you're already immersed in a specific doctrine or a strict spiritual program, then this might not be for you. We're going to encourage free thought and help each other design our own spiritual paths through imaginative and intuitive work. While we might borrow some techniques from different traditions, we believe any successful magical or spiritual practice should be tailored to the individual for whom it's for. Second, the community we're attempting to build will need to share ideas with one another and respect each other's viewpoints in order to work together and reach collective goals. If you tend to feel that your way is the one and only right way to do things, then this is probably not your tribe. We're hoping to receive fresh ideas and suggestions from everyone, but we'll be leaving it up to each person as to which ideas feel right for them to incorporate into their lives. We tend to attract people who are fiercely independent and authentic. Sometimes that means these people are the outliers, the ones who feel isolated or ostracized even for their beliefs. We accept people from all backgrounds, all races, all cultures, and all ages, but we uphold the ideals that come with privacy and protected space. Since we're developing a community based on high vibrational concepts, we will moderate our forums and content so as to protect all those who become involved. If you're merely interested in a self-serving type of curiosity or antagonizing criticisms, this will not be an appropriate environment for you. We want to foster expansive, creative thought, and so we must maintain a safe space where everyone can be honest and feel secure. So how will this series begin? Well, we're going to take a look at the first steps on this path. We'll be talking about creating a magical persona, the modern master's way. One of the greatest tasks we'll ever undertake is to learn about and understand ourselves. When we're aware of who we really are deep down inside, it allows us to capitalize on our strengths and adjust for our weaknesses. The quote, "Know thyself," is more than just an ancient adage. It's a powerful secret that gives us the ability to fulfill our life's purpose. When we understand ourselves, we're able to find the things that make us unique. And then we can take steps to create the futures we're meant to have. There are so many ways to explore the essence of who we are. In these modern times, we're very familiar with self-development tools such as counseling, self-help books, conferences, and a multitude of other resources. Throughout the ages, people have turned to religious and philosophical beliefs with the hope that adhering to formal dogma could give them the answers they seek. But we've come to discover that it's no easy task to understand our true natures, no matter which route we take. Understanding why we do the things we do can take a lifetime to comprehend, never mind reaching a point where we can effectively harness what we've learned. It's a big challenge, to say the least. Understanding ourselves plays a critical role in our magical or spiritual success. Identifying our individual qualities is what allows us to develop baseline skills like discernment, sensitivity, intuition, patience, and motivation. Each of us is a one-of-a-kind version of a sentient dowsing rod. When we learn what attracts us and what repels us, we can take advantage of the hermetic law of polarity. When we understand the cycles and causes of our own emotions, we can better grasp the principle of rhythm. We become better healers, shaman, magic practitioners, alchemists, and spiritual emissaries as we attune to and recognize our own mysterious patterns. As modern masters, we hope to have a little fun with this serious concern of getting to know ourselves. While we recognize the importance of self-discovery, we want to approach it in a different way than those we're most familiar with. Perhaps we'll borrow a little from others who have come before, like Carl Jung and his emphasis on dream analysis. We're also taking bits from traditional mystery schools, hypnotherapy practices, and shamanic teachings that have relied on subconscious revelations to help people come to better understandings of themselves. We want to merge the elusive subconscious factors with the intentions of the conscious mind as we tackle this project of self-exploration. We'll be relying a great deal on developing and activating the imagination. This playful process provides windows into our subconscious worlds while allowing us to stay in touch with our conscious directives. Through this unique approach, we feel we can discover and unlock a treasure trove of answers about ourselves. Armed with these revelations, we can start out on our spiritual and magical paths with greater confidence, and we can learn how to manifest the futures and the experiences we wish to have. Those of you who have experience with role-playing games or online avatars are already familiar with the way we can project ourselves into characters of our own making. If we're feeling a lack of strength, we might choose to take on the role of an extra tough paladin or an unbeatable warrior to offset our limitations. Or if we're really tender-hearted, always concerned with our neighbor's well-being, we might choose to play a healer in an alternative online realm. Whether we choose to enhance our strengths or to offset our weaknesses, our choices reveal our inclinations and our intentions. The characters we create reflect our feelings, and the characters' traits largely determine how we'll spend our time in a virtual world. Will we get up close and personal and try to bash our way through clusters of bad guys? Or will we fight from a safe distance, concentrating on strategy instead? Or will we strive to keep our teammates alive, focusing our efforts on healing and rescue techniques? Whether we consciously realize it or not, we act and we react according to our own natural instincts in our real lives too. Some of us are prone to quiet lives of research and study, while others want to take risks and come face to face with confrontation and challenge. Some people want to avoid conflict altogether, and others are drawn to ease the suffering of those around them. If we reflect on our lives, we can see patterns. We can spot the repetitiveness of our play style. We become aware of our preferences and our aversions, and we come to know our strengths and our weaknesses. When we create a magical persona, we take an active role in defining our, quote, character. Just as if we were creating an online avatar, we'll choose which attributes of ourselves we want to highlight. We'll equip ourselves with tools and enchantments to offset our weaknesses. We'll use our talents and gifts to their fullest potential, showering them with extra doses of imaginative flair and emphasis. We'll begin mapping our journeys with conscious and deliberate activations. We'll actively give priority to the areas of our lives that need our attention. We'll use our imaginations and intuitive instincts to create these magical versions of ourselves, and we'll embrace and magnify our true aspects. By infusing ourselves with this magical focus, we can become the miraculous beings we were always intended to be. Human souls who can transverse, influence, and integrate a multitude of dimensions at will. We'll be examining ourselves using a variety of original techniques. These will include visualization, meditation, focused thought, intuitive responses, dream work, quests, and personality profiling. The Modern Masters Project is dedicated to helping people find and use their own unique blends of spiritual gifts and magical inclinations. No two people are the same, but we can enjoy some shortcuts and benefits by finding similarities among ourselves. Reaching into our own imaginations can offer many answers. We just need to learn how to trust that information and learn how to use it for our own purposes. We often utilize such things as astrology, the Enneagram, numerology, divination methods, and different personality tests to learn more about ourselves. As we build a magical persona, we'll follow some new clues to see what our gifts are and how we can best use our talents. We'll use some modern masters' personality classification systems, such as soul lineage, spiritual overlays, elemental components, and magical archetypes to help us determine our strengths and dominant tendencies. These new filters are meant to identify magical and spiritual inclinations and are very different from most personality profiling systems. They rely heavily on our own perceptions and subjective feedback, two things that are usually discouraged by traditional science. But as we progress through the exercises, it will become obvious that our program puts great emphasis on individual experience and knowledge and considers these types of personal information to be extremely valuable. The 7 Immortal Soul Lines are collections of traits and markers indicating what kind of spiritual lineage we've inherited and brought into our current human incarnations. They center around our soul's background and the chakra energy centers that connect the physical body to the spiritual planes of existence. We have found that no matter what kind of magic we wield, we tend to fall back into repeating patterns when it comes to why and when we choose to use that magic. These patterns reveal our true motivations and show up as indicators in the specific soul lines. These soul lines include the immortal vampire, the eternal artisan, the honored healer, the beloved priest and priestess, the visionary messenger, the mystical shaman, and the magi alchemist. Spiritual overlays. Spiritual overlays tend to show up in dreams and personal interests. When we have recurring dreams about certain types of places or interactions with specific kinds of beings, we're likely encountering one of our overlays. If we find ourselves constantly drawn to one type of mythological creature, a dragon or a unicorn, or if we're fascinated by fantasy settings, the elves or the fae, there's a good chance we're experiencing a subconscious interaction with soul memories. There are an infinite number of overlays possible to experience, including the extraterrestrial connections that are so common in today's world. Overlays reveal where we've spent time and energy along the timelines of our soul's evolution. We have strong affinities for the places we've been, and we experience deep connections to the kinds of extra-dimensional beings we've interacted with in prior life experiences. Knowing what these connections are helps us achieve more consistent access to interdimensional assistance, guidance, and connection. In order to become familiar with our dominant elemental components, we'll need to examine our astrological birth charts. Within this framework, our elemental affinities are revealed. Our natal charts tell us how many planets we have in each of the elements: earth, air, fire, or water. Once we understand more about our natural correspondences, we can learn how to use our strengths to our advantage and how to compensate for those elements we're lacking. We can learn how to weave each element into our directed spells or energy work in order to increase our chances for success. The 9 magical archetypes. At this time, we've defined 9 magical archetypes with 3 subcategories falling under each main type. The main archetypes are warrior, healer, guardian, sage, commander, oracle, keeper, builder, and weaver. An example of 3 subcategories seen inside the warrior archetype as a focus on Tempest magic, or as a focus on Thunderbolt magic, or on Shadow magic. Archetypes show us how we use our skills and talents. Understanding our primary archetypes helps us choose which skills and which sets of skills to develop. Knowing where to focus our efforts can save us time and ensure that we're following a path closely attuned to our natural tendencies. Knowing our strengths also helps us fit into group situations where we may want to align with others based on our magical functions. For example, a healer might choose to work with a warrior, ensuring a form of reciprocal protection. In another case, builders and weavers might want to tackle an etheric construction project that requires the use of their aligned talents and shared support systems. And finally, we'll work through the prime worlds. Using our imagination to access our pre-Earth life memories, we'll explore some of the possibilities associated with our soul's first incarnations. We'll use symbolic gateways to historic civilizations in order to travel back in time. Reflecting on certain global symbols and common cultural archetypes will help us determine where our soul feels most comfortable with regards to societal norms. Through fictional triggers, we can access our first incarnations and come to understand the origins of our personal cultural standards. This part of our self-exploration is broad and expansive. Any race, creature, or being might originate from any one of the 5 prime worlds. So, putting it all together, by taking this imaginative journey into the deepest parts of ourselves, we'll emerge with some new perspectives that will help us define our true desires. This commitment to some serious self-exploration will provide us with an original roadmap to follow, a path designed just for us according to our individual backgrounds and current incarnations. Modern Masters will be providing information and exercises to help you enjoy the whole process. Whether we take part in small group quests or study the information on our own, we'll be discovering our true natures with regards to our spiritual gifts and magical tendencies. Most of us already know many of our strengths and weaknesses. We're already aware of the types of magical or spiritual events that show up in our lives. Working through the process of creating a magical persona will help you highlight the main points. We will refine your knowledge and will enable you to practice your skills more efficiently. In the next video in this series, we'll introduce the 7 Immortal Soul Lines, and we'll share references to help you discover which ones are most prevalent in your life. We'll also share a PDF that you can download and print out so you can start your own magical journal. We'll begin by offering the PDF pages specific to the Magickal Persona development. If this podcast or video has caught your attention and you've made it all the way to the end, then there are lots of ways to proceed from here. One option is to head over to our site, modernmasters.org, and sign up for free as a seeker. This will put you on the mailing list and give you access to all the chat rooms, introductory quests, and other upcoming news and events. You can also choose to follow me, Mary Gabrielle, on my YouTube channel, or on my Facebook page, or on Instagram. I'll be posting all kinds of information on those pages too, and you'll be able to start your magical practice by following along with those posts and videos. You're also more than welcome to send me a direct message with any questions you might have. I'll include all the links in the description below. Thank you so much for your time. All of us at Modern Masters hope to make your acquaintance very soon and share a magical journey together.